Hi, my name is Lynn Burdett and I'm the owner of Prairie Pointers Quilt Shop in Ponoka, Alberta. We do things a little differently in here. We don't offer classes like a lot of the other shops do, but we tend to do a lot of 5-minute cutting board classes. And that's where a customer can come in and ask a specific question on a specific problem they're having, and if we have time and the store isn't too busy, we'll stop what we're doing and we'll assist that customer in learning that technique. We feel that way the customer is better to take home that piece of knowledge that they've acquired at that moment, and they're more apt to put it in use than to find yourself slightly overwhelmed with a lot of information that you're just not going to retain. And that is how we do things at Prairie Pointers Quilt Shop. The easiest way to square it up is not to look at the whole big thing, because it's daunting, right? And you're going to want to make sure your right angles are right angles, and that can be a little overwhelming at times. So the easiest way to square up a quilt is to do it in a smaller chunk. So when you're done, especially something this size, because it's not too big, is you fold it in half, and you fold it in half again, because you know the grain of the fabric is actually going to be square, because that part is fine. It's cleaning this edge up here, and that's where grabbing a square will allow you to see the biggest part of the square, and you just cut it. So you're wanting to get things as small as possible. So in essence, we're looking at this big quilt. So what we'll do is we'll look at a smaller piece of fabric, and we want to make a square out of this piece of fabric. So we're going to fold it in half. We're going to fold it in half again. This is probably not a really great example to work with. But I'm wanting to get a square piece of fabric out of this. So you know that this is going to be true. You know this is going to be true. And in this case, this is going to be about 7 inches. So to get a 7 by 7 inch, so if you come and look here, you've got these little bullseyes on here. So you want to line up along the little bullseyes. Catch it right in the center there. Okay, and you take this off. This should technically now be 14 inches square. And that's where we'll take that 15-inch ruler, lay it over top, and there you are, your 14 inches square. So all your little bullseyes are all lined up in here, they're all lined up here, you're square up here, you're square down here. You now have a square top. Got it?
You made it look very easy.
It was very easy. It is just fold it in half and fold it in half again. When you're working with a bigger quilt, a twin or a queen or whatever, you can keep just folding it down, and don't practice on the quilt top. Practice on another piece of fabric. Practice on a sheet or something that you're not going to worry about, and make sure that it's actually going to work for you. Make sure you've got the concept. But it is very simple, and that's all it was to get that 14-inch piece of fabric square out of this piece here that clearly was not square. It was a great big rectangle. I did have a lot of waste, mind you, but in this case I'm going to use it again, but it just for the demo purposes. That's how it's done. So when I'll take any quilt up to that size, to this size, I'll actually just keep folding it. You have to make sure that your edges are true. That's the biggest thing, that you want to make sure that your edges are true. You want to make sure that you are absolutely square, that it's going to lay nice and flat, so that this edge lines up along this edge is nice and flat. You put your ruler on and you trim it. And that's it.
Okay.
Got it?
I did.
All right,
Thank
cool.
you very much.
You're welcome.